Hi guys, welcome back to the Geography Academy. I'm Brian. I've been teaching geography for 9 years and I have taught thousands of students in that time. So I'm producing videos on the course, on the IGCSE course. Today's video is just about paper 1. So I've just finished developing a full course for paper 1 on how to master all the skills with loads of examples there, and is really good video course. So I just want to bring you through what paper 1 is, the general structure and what you're expected to do. And I also then want to show you the course where I'll just tell you about all the skills necessary to learn. So yeah, let's just have a look at an example of an exam paper question, and then we can see how the course teaches you all the skills necessary. Okay, so let's have a look at an exam paper question. So if we look here, we can see straight away that there's an hour and 45 minutes. Now that adds up to 100 minutes overall, and you've got 3 questions to answer. So divide that by 105, and that's 35 minutes for each question. Going down here, there's going to be 75 marks in total, breaking it down 25 marks per question. You've got 3 questions, 75 marks. If we come down here, let's have a look. So section A, for example, is going to be worth 25 marks, but it says to answer one of the questions in this section, meaning you have a choice. So you'll read through and question 1, and we scroll all the way down the different sections, and then finally we're into question 2. So your choice in section A is between question 1 and question 2, and you'll then pick one and answer one. And if we go down to the bottom here, you'll see that section B is going to go on to question 3 and question 4, and then section C will be about question 5 and question 6. So they're taken from the 3 main themes of the course. All right, now if we come over here to our course, you'll see that the first section here is all about paper 1, getting to know what the structure is, knowing about the command words, and getting to know about the timings. Okay, and also you're going to get information about common mistakes, which is really important. So that's a huge section there to get you started, to make sure you can pick the right questions, understand them, and understand your timing. Very important when you look at these exam paper questions. Now, moving on to the next section, which is about 1 to 3 mark questions, really you're going to have lots of resources, and it's really important to know how to use them. So there's actually quite a lot of videos going and talking about different sections in the course for the 1 to 3 mark questions. So let's take a look at those and see what they're all about. So coming back here, obviously we don't have a lot of time to go into everything in this section now, but just to give you a quick introduction if you're new to it, here is what is meant by rural settlement. So what is meant then, we're going to know at this stage the command word is looking for a definition. 1 mark question, very important then to write down the key words when you're entering in any of the definitions, and the course goes into that, and also gives you lots of examples and a chance to write your own and grade your own as well. A 2 mark question then, for example, using the evidence here. So we get a resource. This is a different type, like this is very knowledge and understanding based mark, whereas this one here is looking for skills. You've got to be able to actually identify things on the map given. Mentions figure 2.1 to be used here to identify 2 similarities between the settlements, and you've got to come up here and be able to use the resources. Now that's not necessarily saying that you would have seen one of these before, but it's just looking for the skills there. And there is a set criteria for all of these. So if you get the marking scheme correct for them, and you get really used to what they're looking for and what the examiner needs, then you're going to be able to score full marks in these sections, no problem. 3 mark question then, this one is a describe. This one is a 4 mark for suggest reason, but coming back here, so describe the main features of a dispersed rural settlement such as El and So you will get place names as well that you probably haven't studied before, and you don't necessarily, you're not really required to have any background knowledge on that specific resource, but you are supposed to have the skills in order to use it. So in the course we go through different skills, going from maps, photographs, pie charts, climate graphs, diagrams, scatter graphs, population pyramids as examples. Then gives you lots of other things like, how to do definitions, study tips, and just brings you through the whole lot. And there's marked examples in each of those, and you get the chance then to answer them too and compare yourself to my grading. So as you're going through the course, you should become like an examiner. You'll get into that mindset. Looking at the 4 to 5 mark questions, there's not a huge difference between here. Suggest reasons for the growth, for example, is identifying that you won't know about this particular place, but you will actually be able to have a general idea about nucleated settlements. So you should be able to answer this question and giving 4 points there. And coming right down then to our 5-mark question, suggest reasons for the function of an industrial town. And again, this will be not place specific, so you won't know all the facts and figures, but you can give points or develop statements there. So looking at what the course offers here is basically showing you how we get all those points, what would be a valid point or not a valid point, what would get you 2 marks, what would be a developed statement or just a regular statement. And also we bring you through lots of different examples. You can see here from different parts of the course, like industry, tropical storms, climate and natural vegetation, population dynamics, just to give a great overall feature there. And it just gets you into that habit of getting full marks for each question and having a look at what are not full mark examples as well as full mark examples. So you'll get the chance to pause it, grade, see if you got the question right, which is really important, and more study tips based on these particular questions too. Finally then, the thing that a lot of students will be worried about is a 7-mark question, the total 25 in that unit. So a 7-mark question will look for a place that you have studied, and it will need specific detail on that. And there is a very specific way to get 7 marks. For instance, you're not going to, there's different level markings. So you've got 3 levels. To get to a level 3, which is to get 6 or 7 out of 7, you've got to be able to actually talk about the area that you've studied with enough information, and you've got to put in at least 3 developed statements, for example. Now, that doesn't maybe seem too complicated to some of you, but it's worth looking at examples and also building your case studies too. So in the 7-mark question, we go into, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we got 6 examples of full mark questions and 6 other examples of, just not hitting the full marks there. So it's a great chance for you to learn how mistakes are made, and you'll also get the chance to write them as well, and then you can compare your own answers to those and kind of see where you are. Now, the really good thing about this course as well is that you'll have access to it, so you can always go back. So let's say, for instance, you just studied volcanoes. So now you can go back to the video and you can say, right, I've studied volcanoes now and I might actually understand it better, and then you can have a look at the marking system again. So completely up to yourself how you do the video. I usually recommend that you do it all the way from start to finish and you do the questions as you go along. Now, on top of all that, you've also got lots of support. So you're going to be able to join us in the Geography Academy, and you're going to be able to actually ask questions there, and I'll update or I'll answer those questions live for everybody, and interact with you guys and make sure that everyone is learning, because that's what I really want to make sure here, that you're not just getting the course and then not getting the benefits. I really want you guys to be successful. Okay, so there you see, it's pretty obvious. There's a huge set of skills that are needed, and there's lots of ways to get started. Now, don't forget that you get to join the whole community. You'll have the support during this year that you might need, and there'll be loads more examples coming your way as well after joining. So yeah, everything's in the link below. If you want to give it a go, let me know. Remember, there's a 30-day guarantee back, so if it's not for you, don't worry.